Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020 and welcome back to the Neofly series. This is episode 17, and if you remember back to episode 16, we landed here at Kruger and Mpumalanga in the kind of northeast of South Africa. We landed in the BAE 146 from East London, and I said that later this afternoon we would look at doing some charters into the Kruger National Park area. But if you look out there, the visibility at those airstrips, which have no instrument procedures or anything, is pretty bad. So I looked at the weather at a bunch of the private airstrips, and it's just really not worth us trying to get into any of those airports today. So we're going to be taking the 110. All of our other aircraft are out on charters. We're going to be taking the 110, doing some airline flying down to Pietermaritzburg. However, the weather in Pietermaritzburg is also looking quite bad. So I have a feeling we might actually be ending up in Durban, because Durban has an ILS. Pietermaritzburg has an RNAV arrival, but that's it. We're going to have to be able to see the runway before we can make it in there, so that's going to be very interesting. Right, so that's the plan today. We've got 9 airline passengers going in our 110 down to Pietermaritzburg. The route is loaded, so let's see if I can remember how to fly this aircraft. So obviously, first things first, just want to have a look around. Let's get the nav lights on, and then we'll switch on the battery. Right, and I'm not going to go through any official procedures or anything. I'm going to try and keep this short and just kind of get us going. So let's turn on the beacon, because we're going to get it fired up straight away. We don't need anything else there. Generators we will turn on once we have the engines running. Let's turn those guys on. Start inertial separators we'll keep on for now as well. Come down here. We should have our flight plan all loaded up. That's good. We're going to be taking off from runway, what is it, 23, 24? This side, not 5. I think it's 23. Right, otherwise this all looks good. Let's just use the shortcut to set our QNH, which is 1025. This can go back to our flight plan. So we're actually just going direct, but I'm going to load up the RNAV arrival in there just now. Okay, that's all fine. Let's sync this with the HOTAS. So this we can bring all the way forward, and these we'll bring up into low because they're both connected to one control. Okay, we're going up to 22,000. At least that's the plan. Whether we actually make it all the way to remains to be seen. Stop that from twitching. Right, then let's get things closed up so we can close the door. Traffic cones, chocks, the parking brake is set, I believe. Is it only set now? No, it was set. Okay, that's good. That's all done. Cool, because when we take away the chocks, I think it gets rid of all of the rest. Prepare for departure. What does that do? Nothing. Interesting. Unless that clears everything once it's there. So that's that, and this is all just preferences. That's pretty much all we get. So we can actually get this out of the way. Right, and I think we are then ready to fire it up. So if you look out that way, it's pretty nasty. There doesn't look so bad, but the weather's actually quite low, so the visibility at all those little airstrips was not good. Okay, so let's go ahead then and start up our left engine. Right, coming up. That's in the green pretty much already. That's in the green. Okay, the RPMs will stay pretty low, so that's okay. That's stable. Let's get the right engine started. Very safe place, dude. Okay. Hey, he's listening. Oh god, he's coming back.
Good to go.
Oh no.
Tower for clearance.
Okay, we'll just ignore that. Just pretend that didn't happen. Okay. Oil temperature in the green already. RPMs will come up and stabilize outside of the green. That's pretty much in the green. Torques will come up as well once we give a bit of power. Right, let's get the generators on. Done. Inertial separators can stay on. Okay, taxi lights. That's fine. Let's come down here. Do we need to do anything else this side? Okay, fuel's good. I guess we can turn on the fuel pumps because we do turn all the fuel pumps on in the 121. So I'm assuming this is pretty much the same fuel system. So I guess you would do the same thing. Prop sync we leave off for takeoff. This I think does actually work. We'll set that to weather and see if we can use that. Where's the range here? Okay, that's fine. Can you actually do this test? It doesn't seem like it. No. Right. There was something else I needed to do, which was pressurization. Set that to automatic. And then these, they can stay there. Right, where do we set our pressurization? Is it up here? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be anything up here. That's all de-icing. Do we not have to do anything? See, it would normally be down here, or I would expect it to be over here with the air conditioning stuff. We've got cabin temperature. Okay, well, I guess we can leave that. Can we test this? Hey, that actually works. Cool. Okay, let's get out of here. So, we're going to turn right and then left onto the taxiway, left on the runway, backtrack, and then out to the south. Do flaps for takeoff. Okay, what I must remember to do is once we get to the runway is just sync up the heading bug. Does it have the push to sync function? No, it doesn't. That sucks. Otherwise, everything looks stable. And the wind's pretty calm, actually. Okay, flaps are set. We're about to enter the runway, so let's do landing lights and strobe lights as well. which, oh, it doesn't have separate strobe lights. It's part of the anti-collision, so that's fine. Yeah, it looks like we are clear. So yeah, all the bush strips are out that way, pretty much towards that big kind of chunk of clouds over there, so we'll definitely do some flying out into the strips, probably in the next episode, depending on the weather. But for today, unfortunately, just not gonna happen. Pietermaritzburg's weather, when I checked about half an hour ago, was horrendous. Let me see if I can do a quick check while we're backtracking. Right, Pietermaritzburg Airport. Okay, there's no METAR for some reason, probably because it's night. But the weather looks shocking. Pouring with rain. Predicted to pour with rain for the next 2 days. And the cloud base is currently reported at 200 meters. And it's actually only going to get worse. So in about an hour's time, this flight's about an hour and a half. In an hour's time, it's predicted to go down to 100 meters. So yeah, I think I'm going to be prepping a route for us to head out to Durban. We've got enough fuel, so if we need to head out to Durban, we can. I'd say we probably got 2 approaches at Maritzburg, and if we don't make it in on the second one, we will divert to King Shaka, which kind of sucks for Neofly because we don't get paid if our passengers go to the wrong airport. Right, we don't really need to go all the way to the end of the runway, so let's just use this taxiway over here. And we'll do a 180. Okay, so let's go. Condition levers full. Get the yaw damper on. We're gonna do. Oh, we probably can't. Flight director. We're gonna be in heading mode, and that's probably fine for now. In fact, we can engage this and say vertical speed, and we'll do up 1.5. On that, perfect. Okay, let's sync up the heading bug. And release the brakes, and here we go. Plenty of runway, so we'll keep the gear down until we run out of runway. Okay, as long as we're touching down now, let's get the gear up and the flaps up as well. get the autopilot on. Should climb out at 1.5, maintain our heading. Okay, let's flip this over to GPS. And we can head pretty much dead south to intercept that. Hopefully we should be above this weather for most of the flight. Looks like we're going to enter a little bit of weather in just a bit. Okay, let's go arm nav mode. So we should intercept that GPS course. Okay, that we probably should have actually had on for takeoff. We now want it off. We can do prop sync. Starting our right turn for our GPS course. A little bit in the clouds. Right, the other thing is our inertial separators can come off. Okay, 7,000 feet. Okay, might as well dial this down to standard as well. Even though the clouds are kind of scattered around and we can see the ground, going VFR into this is just not possible. Like if we had to get into there, we can't, so. No arrivals. It's the approach that we want. So, have a look at the wind. It's coming from southeast, so 16 would be the best. See which transition we want. So I'm going to check it out on Navigraph. Okay, so Dudma puts us straight south. Then we have STEX, which brings us in from the east. Can you move this? Yes, you can. So, to be honest, it doesn't really matter too much. I think we're going to do STEX. So Dudma puts us over here. And straight in. STEX actually brings us from there around the dam and then in. That's closer, so we're going to choose that one. So we'll do that one. Let's load that. There we go. So we'll enter STEX Nibel, Nibel, and then in. Cool, there we go. We're now going direct to STEX instead of straight to the airport. Okay, now through 11,000 feet, so we can actually turn off the landing lights. We can turn off the taxi lights as well. Okay, what I do want to do is, let's go back here. If we go to map, I actually just want to change the fields here. So change fields. Distance to waypoint. Oh, we've got that down there. So then let's do estimated time of arrival at destination and at waypoints. No. Estimated time to destination. And estimated time to waypoint. So that will give us an hour and 14 minutes to STEX, and that says an hour and 19 minutes to the actual airport. Okay, our speed is bleeding off quite a bit, so I'm going to reduce our climb. And we're only coming through 14,500 feet. This is why I said I don't know if we're going to actually get to 22,000. It seems quite high, to be honest. I can put in a little bit more power. Speed's alright now, coming through 15,000, 1,200 feet a minute. So what are we now? 140 knots, that's fine. Oh, I can probably get rid of this. Yeah, so just over an hour, but that's going to come down quite a bit once we actually level off in the cruise. So we're now at 16,140 knots, 1,200 feet per minute, so we should actually be fine to get to 22,000. Expecting these kind of patches of cloud eventually to just turn into one big thick blanket over the whole of KwaZulu-Natal. Okay, we're now 130 knots. Let's go down to 1,000 feet per minute. 17, coming up to 17 and a half. Ground speed of 181 is not bad. Okay, engines, everything is in the green. Starting to get thicker already. Right, it's 18 and a half. Ground speed 182. Distance to go 200. Still just over an hour. We'll see once we get to cruise how much that ground speed comes up. About 130 knots indicated. Bit of a crosswind clearly because you can see from our track. Still don't remember if we ever worked out that this works. Oh, it does. Speed is bleeding off quite quickly now. $120 knots, 170 ground speed. We're at 20,500 feet, so not much further to go. Clawing back a bit of speed. We are a bit nose up, but nothing crazy. Probably 5 degrees now. It's coming down, so we're picking up speed again. This means we're going to take a few more minutes to get up to 22,000. Does this work? It's the same thing. Which is the other aircraft that has the battery test? The battery temperature test. Is it the 121? I don't remember now, but it also just goes straight to too hot. Okay, 1,000 feet to go. Back to about 130 knots. feet to go. Okay, leveling off at 22,000 feet. Let's see what our speed is up to. I think we're fine on temperature, we're fine on torque. We can just back the props off a little bit now that we're cruising. Okay, 190 knots ground speed. And slowly coming up a bit more. Now sub 1 hour to the beginning of our arrival. $195. There's 200 knots ground speed, so exactly an hour now to the airport, 56 minutes to our STEX waypoint, the beginning of that arrival. So I think we're going to do a bit of a time lapse, and I will join you again when it's time to brief our descent into Pietermaritzburg. Okay, so we're about 14 minutes out, and our distance is 50 miles, which is about where it's time to start descending. And if we look at the weather, it's actually not looking so great. But we are going down to 6,500 is where we need to be at the first waypoint. And I calculated this based on 1,500 feet per minute descent at about 200 knots ground speed. So let's engage that and arm that, and then we'll just keep an eye on our speed. Why did it not start doing that? Oh, there we go. Doesn't seem to work 100% properly, because when I do that, that looks right, and then it kind of freaks out. But yeah, definitely looks like we're going into some tough weather. Okay, so we're at 200 knots. I keep it around there on the ground speed, obviously. Okay, so first waypoint is STEX, max 180 knots, and we need to be at 6,500 knots. We then fly 256 degrees to Nibel, again max 180. There we need to be 6,400. Okay, then we descend. I wonder what our ground speed would be on approach. Let's say 100 knots. Which gives us a descent. The descent angle for Pietermaritzburg is 3.5. So that gives us 619 feet per minute. And we're going down to an MDA of 3,170. Now, we can't do barrow minimums as far as I know. We have to do radio. So the radio height is 819. So we're going to set that to just over 800. Oh, that's just over 900. So that's 800, something like that. And that's all programmed into GPS. On the go around, 166 degrees. Climb to 6,500, passing 3,000 feet, left turn back to S-Tech, sorry. If we need to hold at S-Tech's, our inbound heading is 256, outbound 076. Yeah, there's even some red dots showing up on the weather there. Which means we're probably going to have rain as well, as opposed to just clouds. Yeah, coming up to 16,000. Distance to S-Tech's 32. So we have to lose 10,000 feet. That is about 22 miles at 1,500 feet a minute. And I normally add 10 onto that to keep us, or to give us a chance to slow down. So we're pretty much bang on. In fact, we're not going to need to slow down that much because it's 180 knots indicated and we're still below that. We're 160, so we're actually good. Okay, let's get the meta for Durban. Okay, Durban is IFR. Few clouds. 400, scattered 600, overcast 1100, QNH 1025. Rain, visibility of only 3,800 meters. Seating at 1,100, we can make it in. Wind is 080 at 6 knots, so we'll land runway 6. It's probably about a half-hour flight from Pietermaritzburg to Durban if we need to go there. That actually doesn't look too bad through there. Rainbow means there's rain. looks like we are gonna descend into some precipitation. Just passing through 11,000 feet. Weather looks okay still, but yeah, expecting quite a bit of rain. We are going into the orange now on the next rad shortly. See if we can see what it looks like over the airport itself. So not too bad, actually. It seems to be in a bit of a gap, so we might actually be good arriving into the actual airport. Pity that this thing is actually being so weird, because it's actually quite cool. Anyway, okay, we're through the 10,000 feet. Landing lights on. We'll turn on the inertial separators as well. Prop sync can come off, and arm the auto feather. Okay, 14 miles to STEX. Coming up to 7.5, so that's 1,000 feet to go. With 10 miles, so descended a little bit. Okay, there we are at 6.5. And we're starting to see the rain. I think that's the dam up ahead that we go around. Yes. I think this is actually a different one, because we go on the other side of the dam. no, this is right because we're approaching slightly from the north. So Aztecs is over there and we're going to turn right and head along the edge of the dam. Okay, so we need to start slowing down below 180. We're now 5 miles. Yeah, that's 180 knots there. Then we've got 10 miles to lose 100 because we need to be at 6,400 by nibble. Right-hand turn coming up shortly. 2 miles. And let's see, I'm going to dial this to 166 because that's our go-around heading. So that's 160, 165, 166. Okay, right turn, we're now in the clouds. No rain at the moment though. Okay, altitude's good, speed's okay, we can push in a little bit more power. There's the rain on the windshield now. Okay, just under 10 miles to nibble. I think I'm going to slow us down quite a bit because at that point we've got to do a 90-degree turn to the left, and at that point we need to already be 6,500. Okay, what I didn't actually do is set UNH. The speed just below 180. We are going to descend a bit to make up for the change in QNH. About 170 knots, probably in the clouds now, but I think we might just emerge from the clouds before the airport because on the GPS it looks kind of clear just before the airport, so we might be in a bit of luck here, but at the moment we got no chance. Okay, 4 miles. Let's start slowing down. It's around 140, so we can get the gear on the flap side when we need. Okay, taxi light can also come on. Inertial separators are on. Everything else is okay. 2 miles. Left turn 90 degrees. Okay, which means we need to come down here. And just do this. And engage that. And we can just dial that down. Okay, at this point, we can now go all the way down to 3,000, we'll do 3,200. We'll do about 800 feet per minute to start with. It looks like we might be able to see what's going on. Yeah, so Nibble is 10.8 miles out from the airport. Okay, the next point, PM1F1. 2.3 miles, we need to be at 4,920 feet. Okay, let's go flaps 1. Okay, 130 knots ground speed. So we're looking at about 800 feet per minute descent, so we're pretty good. 1.2 miles, we need to descend a little quicker. F2, we should be 4,100. Right, we are too high. Okay, 1 mile to 4,200 feet. The runway in sight. There's a huge rain shower just to the left, so hopefully we can sneak in before that ends up over the airport. Yeah, altitude is pretty much dead on. We can slow our descent rate just a little bit. Gear down. Let's go flaps full. Looks like that rain might actually be moving towards the airport. Okay, heading is set if we need to go around. Auto feathers armed, condition levers full forward, props full. Gear down, and flaps set for landing. Right, I'm taking control. There's our MDA, so we can stay there. The runway is in sight. We're a little low on the profile, so we'll stay at this altitude just a bit until we have the puppy lights indicating what we need. Okay, there's one white. That rain's getting closer. If we don't get in now, we might struggle for a while. But I think we can make it. Unless it happens to just really come in quickly and the runway disappears, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're okay. rain we go. Still nice and clear. There we are, just as the rain starts to set in. Okay, let's get the flaps up, and we'll get the condition levers back to low. We can taxi in and park it out at our hangar. Yeah, I reckon in 10-15 minutes, that might have been a different story. But welcome to Pietermaritzburg. We've been here a bunch of times, but never in the 110, I don't think. Taking the 110 to Tlhuthlui out of Virginia, not to Pietermaritzburg. This is one of 3 110s that we have. Okay, landing lights off. And we can turn this off. This too, and this guy. So yeah, this is one of 3 110s that we have, and this is one of airline routes from Kruger down to Pietermaritzburg. In fact, I guess they're airline passengers, so we should probably have them closer to the terminal. Won't go all the way to our hangar, which is over there by those cars. We can stop over here. It seems a bit unnecessary to take a whole gate. We've only got 9 people on board. Okay. So we can turn these off.
For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off. Please ensure that you have all your personal belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Also remember that smoking is only permitted in designated areas of the airport. You may now use your mobile and electronic devices if you wish to do so. Thank you and good afternoon.
Right, we won't do engine covers, but we will do chocks, bones, and the door. Right, welcome to Pietermaritzburg. We can switch it off. That is going to bring us to the end of our flight. If we look at that weather, okay, it actually seems alright. But, yeah, we just got into the edge of the rain right on short final there. Okay, so I think it is late in the afternoon now. I don't think we're going to be heading back today, so we'll probably have a look at heading back to Kruger tomorrow morning. Yeah, I think that makes more sense, especially with the weather around. We don't want to try and get into a very low visibility situation in Kruger at night in the dark. So I think we will stay here and just operate the next flight in the morning. So I'll see you in just a bit for that. Okay, so it is now the next morning. It's not super early. It's about 9 o'clock. And the weather's cleared a little bit. It's still cloudy all over the country. But it's now time. We should speed up. I'll walk here a little bit. It's now time to head back to Kruger and see if we can get in there. So I've been looking at the weather. It was quite bad this morning, earlier this morning. But about it's now 28 minutes ago, Kruger is reporting VFR conditions. It's still cloudy in the area like this, so it's probably going to be something similar to what we have here in Pietermaritzburg. But it looks like we should be able to get in no problems up there. So we're going to take the Embraer 110 with some airline passengers back to Kruger. If we can't make it into Kruger, our alternate will be Lanseria, so we've got plenty of fuel on board to do that. But I don't think that's going to happen. It looks like we can get in there easily, but hey, anything can happen. The weather changes pretty quick. So let's get things started up so we can head out. Okay, so the passengers are boarded, so we can actually go and get rid of all of this. Oh, I actually wanted to test. If I just click on this, yes, it does get rid of everything. Cool. Okay, parking brake is set. Oh, why is this on? Oh, the prepare for departure thing actually switched the battery on. But that's it. Okay, lights. Now I think this, if we go to rotating, just does the red. So that's on. Do we get strobes if we turn it all the way up? Yes, we do. Okay, so on the ground, we'll just do rotating. That's fine for now. Let's do inverters. And that's okay. Inertial separators. Cool. Come down here. And I don't actually have the route loaded this time, so I'm going to program that in now. Okay, so from Pietermaritzburg, we are going to FAAN. And I actually want to go via the Greytown VR, which is just up here. And then the other one, so it's Greytown, and then VMS, which is Manzini in Eswatini. So let's do VMS. Cool. And then for procedure, there are no departures here, but we will be doing, when I looked at the weather, 180 at 3 knots, so very chilled. Temperature is 18, QNH 1026. Okay, so let's do 180 means at 3 knots we can just do ILS 5. We don't have anything for that, so let's load that in. Cool, sorted. So we'll do runway heading and then turn left and basically do a bit of a circuit just to intercept that PS course. Let's use the shortcut to set 1025. 2400 is our altitude or elevation for the airport. So our circuit altitude would be about 3,900. So we can say at about probably 3,000. Let's say 3,500. We'll start our left-hand turn. Okay, let's put this on standby. Right, everything else is fine. Let's come down here. So this can go all the way up. And these can go to low. We can probably get rid of the tablet now. Okay, cruising altitude. We're going up to 21,000. Like so, and we might as well arm heading, arm this like so, and we can dial this to 1,500 to start off with. Okay, that's all done. Lights are on. Seatbelts and no smoking. Right, let's go ahead and fire up our left-hand engine. Okay, that's coming up. RPMs, temperature, oil temp. Okay, torque is coming up very slowly. It's very low, but that's fine. When we push the power up, that will sort itself out. Let's do right. No, wrong thing. This one. Oh, it is going to be runway 16 for takeoff. You can see the windsock over there, so we're taking off in that direction. Same way we landed yesterday. Okay, RPM's coming up. Temperature's coming up.
You're good to go.
Oil temp. Let's dial this to about 16. It's 166 was heading, if I remember. Okay, taxi light. Flaps or takeoff. And then, oh, the sun's actually coming out nicely. Look at it towards Durban though. On the coast, it's even worse. Okay, let's get rid of the parking brake. Oh. Generators, nearly forgot. Right, those blue lights shouldn't be there in reality, but anyway. Okay, we're here of the embryo. Landing lights on. The only other thing I need to do is the strobes, but because it's on that same switch as the beacon, to go and do that up top, So let's do that. Right, everything looks good. One other thing is on the auto feather, and he said also throttle, and then make sure that the prop sync is off, and we should probably turn on these fuel pumps, although it doesn't really seem to make any difference. Right, release the brakes, here we go. Oh, condition lever's full, cool, and props are full. Airborne.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Positive rates, gear up. Okay, flaps up. In here, and we'll engage the autopilot. Okay, coming up to 3,500 feet, so let's start that turn. Weather looks quite nasty out that way towards Durban, actually. We're heading out that way. There's the airport. Do another 90-degree turn, and that'll put us onto our GPS course, or onto an intercept heading with GPS course. Coming up to 6,000 feet. Everything looks good. Everything's in the green. So let's disarm this. We can go prop sync. And we can turn off the taxi lights. And the inertial separators. Okay, there's the airport just down there to our left. Let's come down here, go into GPS mode. There comes our course. So we'll go on nav, and that should intercept that shortly. See your damper off. That's interesting. And we're starting our right-hand turn. climbing out nicely at 1,500. A little bit of cloud around, but it looks like a thick layer up ahead. Okay, we need to bring the torque back a little bit now. Or the temperature, actually. Everything else is in the green. This here is Midmont Dam, I think. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it is. Let me actually check. There's two big dams out here. There's Midmar and Albert Falls. Okay, no, this is Albert Falls. This one here. And that's Midmar up there. Dam wall over here, which is there, is actually one of the VRPs for Pietermaritzburg. Okay, I suppose we can get this on. We're through 10,000, so landing lights can come on. Okay, temperature's good, torque's good, RPM is still at 100. Everything else is in the green. Plenty of fuel on board. 167 knots ground speed. Seven minutes to that Greytown VOR. On the speed because that's coming down, so let's reduce our climb, maybe put in a little bit of power. See how about 8 degrees, we need to bring that down a little bit. Still 125 knots. All the way up to 21, so I wonder if we've got a bit of a headwind here because we didn't have this issue climbing out from Kruger. We climbed quite a bit faster. We're still dropping, so we'll have to go down even more. least ground speed, we're still 162, so that's okay. Picking up indicated speed a little bit now, but it does mean we've got a good 5 minutes. Because yeah, we're 16,000, we need to get to 21. Might as well set this to standard actually. And we're doing 1,000 feet a minute, so we've now got another 5 minutes of climb. 130 indicated, 167 rounds. Okay, so just over 4 minutes to Greytown, and then an hour and a half all the way up to Kruger. So yeah, I think the winds are not really in our favor. Makes sense. When we were climbing out from Kruger, we were doing 180 knots ground speed and we cruised along over 200. Speed of it, 171 now, just about 17,500 feet. Don't really want to go below 120 knots on the climb, so we might have to reduce our vertical speed again. We're about 123 knots. Okay, we're at 120 now, so let's bring this down even more. What airport is that? Is that FAGY? Oh, it's Greytown, obviously. Speed's coming up a bit again. 1 minute to Greytown. 19,000 feet, 2,000 to go. Let's see if we can get a weather update. Yeah, Kruger Mpumalanga International Airport is now low IFR. Overcast 800 feet, broken 100 feet, fog and drizzle. Visibility only 2,000 meters. Right. And looking at the forecast, it looks like it's actually just going to get worse. Raining when we get there. Way more rain than we're currently having right now, predicted in the next hour or so. But yeah, cloud base is rising a little bit, but not very much. So the forecast visibility 3,500, so a little bit better. Clouds 500 broken and overcast at 1,000 feet. So we might actually be able to get in, but it's going to be interesting. Okay, 600 feet to go to our cruise altitude. We'll then bring the props back a bit and cruise out to Kruger. And yeah, I just want to check the speed once we level off. That should come up, so hopefully we can cruise just over 200 knots, ground speed that is. A little bit below 120, but it's okay because we're only 300 feet to go. At 21,000 feet. Okay, all the engine gauges are in the green. Let's bring the prop RPMs back a little bit. So I'll only go to about 95. Speed's coming up, ground speed now 182. 154 miles to go to that Manzini VOR. So 50 minutes to Manzini. We're at 1 hour 12 to Kruger, and that'll come down steadily as we increase speed. Okay, 193. So yeah, we should probably settle just over 200 on the ground speed. A little bit of movement in the air out there. Okay, there's 200. 1 hour 6 minutes. So yeah, we're looking at just over an hour's cruise. So I will do a bit of a time lapse and see you again when we prep for our arrival into Kruger. Okay, so we're not at top of descent, but if you look on the windshield, you can see we are picking up a bit of icing every now and then. It's kind of coming and going. Mostly on the sides. Yeah, I see now it's gone. I don't know if we have like an automatic windshield heat or something. I haven't seen any on the wings. Yeah, now it's gone again. So you need to just pay attention to that. Where can I get the outside temperature? I actually want to just see. We do have no windshield heat or anything up here. Not wipers, but if you read here, in icing conditions, so we must have down here some anti-ice stuff somewhere. Doesn't really seem like it, does it? There's nothing down here. Unless it's got like some sort of automatic system, because the ice keeps going away after a little bit of time. We've got defog. Maybe we should turn on that, and I guess for the passengers as well. Yeah, no anti-ice that I can see. See, we're not picking up ice now again, it's gone for now. Where's my outside temperature? And again, this isn't like a super high fidelity aircraft, so it could just be that the systems aren't modeled, which is fine. I should have a temperature somewhere. Couldn't see it anyway. No, like little gauge on the side here. Doesn't seem like it. Ah, there's the de-icing. Haha. Okay, let's turn on the windshields. I don't think we need... There's nothing on the wings or like on here that I can see, so... Or down there. So I think we'll keep the windshield on, and then I'll keep an eye on this as we go. Can't believe there's no outside air temperature displayed in here somewhere. That's the cabin temperature, which doesn't seem to work, so like on the previous flights I had this on, but nothing happens over there. Okay, well, keep an eye on it and see how we go. Alright, so we're about 50 miles out. And so, we need to start prepping for our arrival into Kruger. So, let me get the charts up here. If I remember correctly, we did obviously arrive in here yesterday. It's 5,800 feet, if I remember correctly. So we're doing the ILS runway 5. So if I have a look at that chart, yeah, 5,800 feet to intercept. So let's dial that in here. Like so. Okay, then I think we're still going to... Okay, it looks like we are actually going to that point. That's good. Wow, look at the weather out that side. Okay, so it looks like we might actually be fine in here. It seems like it's pouring with rain off to the west. That's crazy. Okay, that's good. 1091. So that's perfect. We can actually swap those around. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted. Swap those around. Course is 054, which we can't set because we're still on GPS, so that's fine. Okay, 197 knots, 12 minutes to go. So we need to descend. What's that? 15,200 feet. So we do just over 1,000 feet a minute. We should be good. And in fact, we can pick up some speed. So I'll make this. Why is it going? Oh, right. I'll make that faster, and then we can actually pick up some airspeed as well. Looks like we are going to be going into the weather. Plenty of fuel on board if we do have to go to Lanseria, but it looks like the weather at Lanseria might actually be worse, to be honest. Let's actually see. Do we have an updated METAR at all? So for Kruger, QNH 1026. Temperature 18, dew point 17. Winds 3 knots, variable. Visibility 2,000. Clouds broken 100. Overcast 800. But that is 49 minutes old. Looking at this, okay, it could still be cloudy over here for sure, but the rain's all out to that side. Okay, if we do have to divert to Lanseria, Lanseria, clouds broken at 1,000, marginal VFR, also 49 minutes ago. So Lanseria looks like it would be fine with the ILS coming in. We obviously do have an ILS here as well for runway 5. Okay, might as well just dial this up to 1026 so long. Pick up the speed of it. We're about 6 minutes out. So we can descend a little quicker. Okay, if we have to go around, It is runway heading, so 54 degrees to 6,500, and then a right turn back to the VOR, maximum 210. Speed 210, that is. Okay, we're about to enter the clouds here. I wish I had a outside air temperature, because I don't know if we need the anti-ice. But what I can do is turn on the inertial separators. We can turn off... No, we'll do that a bit later. There must be a temperature somewhere. I'm just missing it. See, no. It's baffling. Anyway, we're in the clouds now. Doesn't seem to be too bumpy, although that seems to be where all the really bad weather is. Okay, we can start slowing down a bit. 4 minutes to go. Still got about just over 6,000 feet to lose. Yeah, what I'm actually going to do is we're going to go into heading mode. So that I can switch this over. Did it actually dial the course in correct? Yeah, it did. Wow, that's cool. Okay, 10,000. It's landing lights on. Turn on the taxi lights as well. Prop sync can come off. We can arm the auto feather. Need to descend so quickly anymore. Looks like localizer is alive, and that, I believe, is our glide slope alive as well. Interesting that it's on that side. Okay, decision height is 200 feet, and that is set. Okay, let's arm the approach. Feet to go. Yeah, I can see the runway lights. Localizer captured. Speed's in the wide arc, so we can do flaps and gear when we need. Right, since we're not on the glide slope yet. In altitude hold mode, so let's dial this up to 6500 because that's what we need if we do go around. And we're coming to the glide slope now. Let's go flaps 1. Okay, props full, mission levers are full. Slope is captured and we are descending. Yeah, look at the rain out that way. On both of these legs we kind of just snuck around the rain. Again, in a little bit of time this could easily be over the airport. I can see the runway just fine already. Just over 6 miles out, 140 knots. Let's go gear down. We'll start getting the rest of the flaps in as well. Right, we are configured for landing. Decision height is set. Flaps, gear on the ILS. Runway is in sight. Good to go. 10,000 feet radio, although that doesn't really count because of the huge drop off here. Yeah, I have control. Drops quite quickly once you reduce the power to idle. Flaps up. We can set this to standby. Welcome back to Kruger and Pomalunga. We're not still in reverse, are we? No. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to do any VFR stuff at all, to be honest. Especially going out towards Joburg and Pretoria. Although we'd be able to land that side. The weather seems fine for that. Getting through that VFR is not going to happen. Landed with a bit of a tailwind again. Nothing serious, it's only reported at 3 knots. Okay, landing lights can come off. Strobes will come up here. Set that off. And this can go back to standby. Safely parked at Kruger, so we can get our tablet up, and let's just do all of these things.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off. Please ensure that you have all your personal belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Also,
okay, beacon can come off now, taxi lights off. That's fine, that's fine. Down here, is there anything else we need to do? Probably not. Suppose we can turn that off. That's all fine. That's it. This can come off, and the fuel pumps. That's all done. Right, there we go, and we can switch off the back. Okay, but then we are safely arrived from our little airline trip down to Pietermaritzburg and back with some pretty interesting weather along the way. Didn't really get too involved in our approaches, the weather that is. We didn't really have much of an issue landing at either of the airports. But definitely some interesting weather around South Africa at the moment. But that's going to bring us to the end of this episode of the Neofly series. If you did enjoy it and you want to follow along with the series, you know what to do down below, and I'll see you in the next one.